Mac, I need your help.
Oh, okay. Let's see what we got here.
I am trying to come up with the Mount Rushmore. I don't know if you've ever heard of this before, but there's I don't know, one of the Carolinas or Dakotas.
Yeah.
4 faces on a rock. Definitive greatest presidents of all time.
Oh, okay. Have you been building a list?
I am not looking to do a presidential list right now. I am looking at it as it's the holiday season. Whoop-de-doo, hibbity-dop. And I want to put the greatest holiday-themed commercials on this rock. And I have 3, and I need one more. Do you want to hear my 3 first?
Yeah. Let's hear your 3, and then show me the options for 4.
I don't have any options, so you're going to have to think while I'm doing this.
All right.
Number 1 is the Campbell's Soup commercial where the kid is outside playing in the snow. He's a snowman. He goes inside, and his snowy exterior melts as he eats noodle soup.
Yep, that's a good one. I like that one.
That's a great one. Then you have the M&M. So the plain M&M and the peanut M&M, they meet Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's always a classic.
He does exist. They do exist. I think that came out in like 1995 and it still plays.
Yeah, it might have been later 90s, but yeah, you're right. That still hits.
And when I say still plays, I mean like it still plays on the television and with my heart.
Yep. That's fair.
And then I think this is maybe the greatest of all time. And that is, ho, 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 I'm ha hungry. And that is Fruity Pebbles.
Okay. I don't recall this one.
You don't recall this one?
No.
Fred has Fruity Pebbles. Barney, dressed as Santa, tries to steal his Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
And then Santa, the real Santa, shows up and he says, "Hey, Fred, it's Christmas. Can you share your pebbles?"
All right. Those are 3 real strong ones. As you were talking, 2 came to mind immediately.
Perfect.
So I'll throw 2 at you, and you decide what you want on the 4th there. I actually brought up my list of presidential rankings, too, if you want to actually do a Mount Rushmore.
Can you save that for February, and we'll do that in your sack? Bookmark that. Save that.
Immediately, I thought of, it's the Hess truck. The Hess truck's here, and it's better than ever. It's the 40th year. The Hess truck's here. The Hess truck every year is always a fun little reveal. And if you don't like that one, I think you could always swerve to the Coca-Cola Polar Bear. Those are always pretty good too.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Can we do 5 on a rock?
Those are the 2 that I think are your biggest omissions. I would go Hess over Coca-Cola slightly, personally.
Do we possibly go with those 2 and take the Campbell's Soup off? Because that's more of a wintry.
Oh, but I like the Campbell's Soup.
I love that one. Don't get me wrong.
So you did Campbell's Soup, Fruity Pebbles, and what was the third one?
M&M's. The M&M's one has to stay.
M&M's got to be on there. I would get rid of the Fruity Pebbles one.
Oh, you know what I would tell you?
The only one I didn't really remember.
You know what I would tell you? Fuck off.
Hey, this is your list. This is your Mount Rushmore.
This is our list. We share around here.
All right.
Podcasts, you share with your host.
you provided 3, so you got to get rid of one then.
I think you get rid of the Campbell's Soup.
Wow. I disagree, but what are you going to do?
I think you need to have Coca-Cola, just, for all of them. It's starting in the 70s, I believe, the connection of Coke, Polar Bears, Santa Claus. And then, in honor of my 3-year-old son, who was just bananas over these Hess trucks, and even while driving in the car one day, on the radio, they were promoting it, and he's like, Daddy, why are they talking about Hess trucks?
I need it.
No, he does, and he is getting it. So, you know what I'm going to do, Mac?
Okay.
We have our 5 options.
Yep.
Go to Twitter right now. Go to X.
Sure.
Formerly known as Twitter.
Yep.
And tweet us the one that you want gone. Or be more specific and just tweet us the 4 that you want. Or be as confusing as you want. You can make a poll
and say the M&M one's automatically in.
Okay.
That's just kind of automatically in too, I feel like. And then maybe
4 of these are automatically in.
Put the other 3 on there, and the lowest percentage gets out.
One goo, 3, goo. Jaws 3. Goo. King of Queens. Goo. Meryl Streep. Entertainment.
I'm goo.
And I'm Mac.
And we are the Mac and Goo program. What do you want?
I feel like, when you're making the list of presidents, even though some people call them overrated.
February.
Lincoln, FDR, and Washington locked in, like your commercials, locked in top 3. And then I got like 6 you could consider for 4. You get Truman, Eisenhower, Ulysses S. Grant, which might be the most underrated president ever. You have Theodore Roosevelt, and then obviously Thomas Jefferson. And I think LBJ is pretty underrated too. Those would be the ones I'd consider for the 4th spot.
Lincoln is your M&Ms. Washington is your Fruity Pebbles. What are we doing today, Mac?
Just to consider it. You got a couple months to consider who the 4th is.
Okay, but so what we are doing today, Mac, is once again, because it is the Christmas season, I wanted to do one of our famous Christmas episodes. And in the past, we have never done full month-long Christmas things like we've done with Macabre and Ghoul, but we've always sprinkled some in here or there. And this year's Christmas episode is it Christmas? We look at a list of Christmas movies in general, Christmas adjacent movies, and give you the definitive answer, yes, no, to if it is a Christmas movie.
Strictly binary system here. So we're going to tier these, but into 2 tiers. Yes, it's Christmas. No, it's Christmas. I also, to your point, Q, I also feel like these last couple of years, you are much more of a Christmas guy because you have a little kid.
I've always been a Christmas guy.
Buy gifts for and do more fun stuff with. You can indulge more in Christmas because you have a small child.
You'd just be a big old weirdo if you did it.
Walking around the Lego store with just myself.
This is my Christmas corner. So I am going to have the tier on my screen here. At the end, I will share it. When I do share it, we can then veto 2 and stamp 1 because there isn't a ton on
2 and
here.
1. Gotcha. So we're doing Christmas movies, right?
Christmas movies.
Or movies that could be considered Christmas movies.
Movies that could be considered
And this
Christmas.
is the definitive yes and no.
Correct.
Okay.
And what we have on here for the tiers, we have yes, we have no, and it's a hot dog.
All right. Okay. I don't know what's going to fall in there, but let's see.
You know what's going to fall in there? The first movie up, and that is Die Hard. Let me give you its Christmas credentials.
Okay.
Set on Christmas Eve, there is a Christmas party. It is pretty much at a Christmas party. He goes there for Christmas, and they quote Santa Claus.
All right, so let me define what I consider a Christmas movie at the top here. Get this out of the way, and you can refer back to it if I'm contradicting myself. To me, a Christmas movie means that the movie is not possible without Christmas. The only reason the movie can happen is because of Christmas. Now, there are ones that are on the fringe where it's Christmas and maybe 1 or 2 other times you could see the plot happening. And on top of that, I also feel like there needs to be an underlying story of family and like a valuable lesson someone learns, because that seems Christmassy as well. So that's to me what a Christmas movie is. Now, if any of you listeners have been around for a while, you'll remember that Goo's definition of a Christmas movie is it has snow. So
that is correct.
2 wildly different.
But also,
opinions.
If I contradict myself at all during this podcast, keep it to yourself.
Good. To me, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie because I believe you could set this plot in any number of timelines during the year and it would still work just as well. Maybe Christmas maximizes it. So maybe that's the argument for it. The ho, ho, ho. And it does have the underlying family element. But you could set this Memorial Day weekend and it would hit the same.
So while I do believe this is a Christmas movie, a fringe Christmas movie, mind you, so we are going to be within these tiers trying to put the more Christmassy movies at the top. This is not based off quality. It's just based off how much Christmas is in this movie. I hate this argument so much that I am not going to have this with you. I have put this into it's a hot dog. A hot dog's a sandwich.
Okay. You could have just stamped it as a Christmas movie off the top.
No.
All right.
Because I don't care anymore.
Goo, my one Christmas wish for you is to care more.
No, you know what my one wish is next year. Like, you see how
wish,
You know how we don't have the tier on the screen?
One wish, one wish,
That
one
is for
wish.
me to be able to clip these videos and put them on to our social medias.
Like, I'm at the point.
What I would like in the coming year is for us to just no longer even put audio out. We're just a TikTok podcast.
I'm convinced there's a lot of podcasts that fucking do that. Q, I will say, to your point about the exhaustion of the argument, because we have been having this for 6 years now. I'm to the point where I don't care anymore if someone is like fighting tooth and nail that it's a Christmas movie, because on the flip side of it, you can argue what I'm arguing against Die Hard against Home Alone. And I would rather them both be Christmas movies than them both not be Christmas movies.
Also, yeah, you mentioned when you're scrolling through like TikTok or Instagram or like the Reels, and like certain clips pop up of like, guys being like, "You are a beta. You watch pornography. You do this," and I'm like, what is this?
Actually, so a little peek behind the curtain today, or in general, I've been using my phone as my second screen recently, and I have the internet queued up just in case we got to look anything up here, Goo, as a good co-host, and I had to close my OnlyFans window to get there.
You've seen those guys though that just like yell at you.
Yeah, stupid, dumb.
Yeah, are those podcasts?
Where I don't know what they are. Yeah,
I don't know what they are.
I don't want to ever know, actually.
Let's go on to this next one here, and that is Gremlins. Its Christmas credentials is Gizmo is a Christmas gift. There is snow.
I don't consider Gremlins a Christmas movie at all. It's the gift giving that really hooks it in as a Christmas movie. But you could give this kid a gremlin in June for his birthday and everything would still work. So I don't consider it.
I am going to put it at the tail end of yes, because I think it is adjacent to so many different things, whether it's, Christmas adjacent, comedy adjacent, a little bit creature feature, horror adjacent. And let me tell you a little story of over the weekend, I was wearing my Gremlins holiday sweater and my cousin, a child of the 80s, told me that they had just seen Gremlins for the first time. And I'm like, how? You love 80s movies. You love 80s nostalgia.
Gremlins is perfect 80s cheese.
Yes. And they told me that when they were younger, their mother would not let them watch horror movies or horror adjacent movies because of bad dreams or getting scared. And then one day, their mother said to them, "Okay, you've been begging me for a long time. You can pick out a horror movie from the video rental store and you could watch it." So they were thrilled. They went to the video rental store.
It's the longest story ever.
They saw this box it had a boot and then a knife going into it.
Yep.
They brought it home and that movie was Sleepaway Camp.
Oh no. Jesus Christ.
Right?
Oh God, what a way to start your horror movie experience. Jesus.
Right?
Oh no.
Right?
All right, it had a good enough payoff.
Well, you wouldn't have told it if it didn't end in Sleepaway Camp.
Why is Goo always talking about Sleepaway Camp? The other thing with Gremlins too is because it's horror-ish.
Wait, Gremlins the first one or Gremlins 2?
Not Gremlins as well. Gremlins the first one.
Yeah.
Horror-ish stuff don't strike the Christmas nerve for me. So they have now made many Christmas-themed horror movies. But this I don't know. I never have considered it Christmas. People put it on their lists all the time. It'll never sniff my list.
Like I said, I have it at the tail end, but we can do some vetoes later.
Okay. All right. I'm not
Next one up here is Trading Places. This is the Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy movie from the 80s. Speaking of Dan Aykroyd, he's dressed as Santa at certain points, a real dirty Santa. It has Christmas time. There are Christmas celebrations. It's happening around that time. But I will say, even though there is snow, I don't think this is a Christmas movie.
Oh, that's funny because I'm more convinced of this being a Christmas movie than the previous ones, only because like thematically it's heavier on the Christmas and the family and learning a lesson type of story.
You want to put it in? Yes.
I would put it above Gremlins. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Hey, like I said about this next year, I don't care. We've already had 3 I don't cares on this list, so we're doing a good job. Next one up here, Mac. It is as clear as the beautiful white snow in the movie that it is a Christmas movie, and that is Batman Returns.
I mean, this is not a Christmas movie.
Do you want me to quote Alfred Pennyworth at the end of this movie? He says, "Merry Christmas, Mr. Wayne." Master Wayne. Sorry, he does not call him Mr. Wayne.
You can't put this in the Christmas list because it'll nullify the whole list.
I'm gonna put it at the top of no then, and I might
fair.
Veto it to above A Wonderful Life later.
See about that.
Okay. Yeah. The next one up here has a lot of Christmas imagery, and that is Iron Man 3.
No, for sure not. For the same reasons as Batman. You can't.
I do want you to watch it again, though, and there's a lot of Christmas in this movie.
No, it's purposefully, I think, thrown in there. But again, that is not a Christmas movie.
I will agree with you. Kiss, Kiss, Bang, Bang.
So I've never actually seen this movie.
Okay.
I feel like it belongs, but that's up to you on this one.
I'll say no.
Okay. All right.
I'll put it below Batman, though.
Sure.
How about, and you might say, wait a second, this is more of a New Year's Eve movie, but When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, I've never even thought about it really in terms of a Christmas movie. And rom-coms are a nice way to as a Christmas movie backdrop, but no, I would say it's not a Christmas movie.
There's a little bit of Christmas in there. He does confess his love on New Year's Eve, and it does feel a bit like a Hallmark movie.
I think so. I think of a lot of these, and this is sort of what I mean with Die Hard. Die Hard, in my mind, is like a holiday movie because that plot can only happen during like a holiday weekend type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Home Alone, or that's really just narrowed to 2 or 3 holidays. But there's like a subsection of Christmas movies that have to hit certain markers to jump up to that section. And I don't think this movie doesn't. I don't think those movies really do it.
So you're gonna put this in the no category?
No, it's a no.
Is that what you are picking up on right now?
Yeah.
I gotta fix what I'm doing. So I'll put no. I'll put it below Batman Returns. How about, Mac, the Royal Tenenbaums? In the movie, they play Christmas Time from Charlie Brown.
No, it's not a Christmas movie.
All right. You're a real Scrooge right now. I'll tell you that much. Home Alone. You've already mentioned this. Home Alone. And I just rewatched it last night. And you've made the point of like, it could be considered Christmas adjacent. It's more of a travel time movie. You could do it whenever you're leaving the house. There is, and this might be specific to just how John Williams does the score, but Christmas is the true backbone of this movie.
Again, this is my second favorite Christmas movie of all time. However, I have recognized that what I argue against Die Hard can be argued against this movie. I just think this does more Christmas stuff than Die Hard does. And I also think it's not believable for a family to forget a child at the house during a busy travel season other than during Christmas time or during Thanksgiving time. So I think there's a more narrow window where the plot of this movie is plausible. I also think, unlike Die Hard, which is really a one-setting movie, just Nakatomi Plaza, he goes out and he's dealing with the Christmas season, the shopping. He deals with the Santa in the street, the neighbor across the street who misses his family, he hasn't seen them on Christmas in X amount of years. I just think Christmas is definitely more pivotal to this plot. And you're right, the John Williams score certainly helps that because it's Christmas music the whole time.
Also sneaky, there's a lot of church in this.
A lot of church. Well, that's when you're dealing with the old man, and that's a pretty that scene, like, it's so impressive now. It's 30 years later, but for Macaulay Culkin to be able to act like that during that scene with that old man is quite impressive.
You've seen Uncle Buck, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Like him at that age, I'm like, how was he able to
I know
do
he's
this?
an odd looking fellow, and credit to him for outkicking his coverage by a mile and marrying Brenda Song. I don't know why he's not acting anymore, Goo. Do you think he just has enough money and that's that?
Yeah, I don't know how much he cares.
I feel like he should be acting still.
The next one up here, Mac, I believe is completely a Christmas movie, although you might look at it as having spooky Halloween characters, but it's dealing with Christmas themes and learning the meaning of Christmas, and that is A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, this is another interesting conversation. I do feel like the whole point of the movie is centered around Christmas as spooky and Halloween.
The whole point of the movie is to learn how to stay in your lane. Don't try new things.
I would consider this a Christmas movie above, say, Gremlins and like that. It's just because of the plot, it only really makes sense to set it during Christmas, right? It doesn't make sense otherwise. So I would say it's a Christmas movie.
Let's go over now to a movie where its final showdown is on Christmas Eve, and the two main characters attend a Christmas party. Not to mention there are decorations, and that is Lethal Weapon.
I never really considered this until we got deep into the Die Hard conversation. This might be more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard is.
Is it a hot dog?
It's probably in the same category, though. Yeah.
You would put Lethal Weapon and Die Hard both as it's a hot dog?
Yeah.
Like, let's get out ahead of this before everyone jumps on the Lethal Weapon Christmas fucking bandwagon.
I feel like if you're going to put Die Hard in, you have to put Lethal Weapon in, but that's probably a reason to leave them both out.
So they're both hot dogs.
Look, they're both hot dogs. We're up to two hot dogs.
They're both hot dogs. Next movie up here is Little Women. Greta Gerwig's Little Women. It's winter, and it was released on Christmas Day.
I actually still haven't seen this. One of these days I'll find the motivation to watch this. I'm sure she didn't change much from the story that's 300 years old. I don't care about this. You put this where you want to.
I will put it in no, but I do believe, and you're all about family themes. I do think there are some heavy family themes in this movie.
Okay. All right.
The next one up here is one of my favorite movies, and really looking into it more, you could classify it as a back-end Christmas movie, and that is Catch Me If You Can.
It's not a Christmas movie, but the third act is a Christmas movie, if that makes sense. Where the movie takes you and where you end up is a lot of thematically what I like from Christmas movies. However, this is not a Christmas movie.
But you also, I think you need Christmas in this movie for Tom Hanks's character to show, like, this is all he has, and he's doing this stuff on Christmas.
I do think the Christmas elements elevate the movie. I wouldn't consider it a Christmas movie, though. And I also want to bring up, and I think this is why I'm being a little stricter, is when you're talking about like the Baseball Hall of Fame, we're both small hall guys, and I want to keep the pantheon of Christmas movies small as well.
Judge, jury, executioner. I'm going to put it above Batman Returns.
That's fair.
How about The Chronicles of Narnia, where Santa is a playable character?
A lot of snow in this movie too.
A lot of snow.
However, because you go into an alternate universe, it could be set anytime. You know, it is a movie. Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah, you stop right there. It is a movie.
It is a movie that people watch during Christmas. I don't know if I would consider it a
people
Christmas
also
movie.
use these themes for their decorating as well.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I would call it a Christmas movie, but I could be talked into it.
Put it at the top of the no?
Yeah, let's put it at the top of the no.
Top of the no. Top of the no. The next one up here is...
Although, yeah, we'll put it at the top of the no.
How about The Christmas Chronicles?
Is this the... what's this movie?
It's Kurt Russell. It's Disney+.
I didn't watch this. You watched this.
I mean, it's a story about Santa, so I'm going to say yes. Thank you. By the way, this tier was done by the other Billy D, associate producer. The other Billy D. I will say that, yes, this is a Christmas movie.
Greater than The Santa Claus?
No, The Santa Claus is a better movie.
Okay.
I would say. The next one up here is Krampus. Krampus. It's the opposite of Santa. He'll eat your face.
So I don't know enough about Krampus lore, but if he can only show up at Christmas time, I guess technically that makes this a Christmas movie, right?
I'm going to put it at the bottom of yes. I'm going to put it below Gremlins.
Okay, good enough.
How about The Night Before? This is with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, and Anthony Mackie.
This has a lot of Die Hard elements where it's a massive, office party. I don't know on this one. Thematically, they are playing with a lot of Christmas type themes. I guess I would lean yes, but I'm not a strong yes.
Look, I'm going to say yes. And I will say that you could set this movie, say, the night before Thanksgiving or something like that.
Yeah.
But I want to say that I've only watched this movie. I've seen it like maybe once or twice, and that's around the holiday season.
I'll put it this way as well, and this is an argument for Die Hard. Offices don't throw parties like that unless it's Christmas time, maybe Thanksgiving time. So that is a +1 for both of those movies.
Arthur Christmas.
Which one is this?
An animated movie.
Probably haven't seen it then.
Well, Christmas is in the title, so it's going to go ahead and be a Christmas movie.
Right, good enough for me.
If you put Christmas in the title, it's going to be at the top of the Christmas movie. It's going to be below.
If Die Hard was called Christmas Hard, it would be here.
If it was called Die Christmas, would you still put it here?
I'd have to hear what that one's about.
How about The Holiday? This is the one with Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz and who does she switch places with? God damn it, Gil.
I don't know. I put it here for you. I put it in this for you, dude.
Yeah, they switch lives for like a month or something like that. She goes to Britain and the other girl comes to America. What the hell is the other woman? Is it Kate Winslet, Gil?
Sure.
It might be Kate Winslet.
Okay.
It is Kate Winslet. Yeah. And then Cameron Diaz falls in love with Jude Law, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Kate Winslet falls in love with Jack Black. It is, I'll put it this way. It's a Christmas movie more for someone like me who's single during the holidays. I relate more to this movie than...
It's a Christmas movie for a real sad sack.
Yes, that's sort of what it is. So in that sense, it's a Christmas movie, but in general, although maybe a lot of people have felt like this, you could set this any time of the year and it would work.
Do you want it above Trading Places?
No, put it below Trading Places.
Above Gremlins?
No, put it. I don't think it's a Christmas movie.
So,
yeah.
So you're saying no?
I'm saying personally, I relate to this more than
That's
maybe
all
a lot
I care
of people,
about. I only care about you right now.
No, I would say no. It's not a Christmas movie.
Wow. I'll put it below Narnia. There we go. The next one up here is Black Christmas. Of course, one of the original slashers of the 1970s. It was remade. Christmas is in the title.
It's more of a Christmas movie than Gremlins is.
Okay. I'll put it above Gremlins. I'm on that. Not on this list, by the way, is Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is the slasher Santa from the 1980s that gave Roger Ebert a real hissy fit. Maybe Siskel. He gave one of them a real hissy fit about like, how dare they ruin the sanctity of Santa?
Which one's dead again?
They're both dead, man.
Oh, they're both dead now.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I've had this conversation 15 times with you.
At least 100 times. But I would call that a Christmas movie. Absolutely.
You need a whiteboard behind you that says Siskel and Ebert are dead, so I can always remember that.
Who am I, Woody Page? You're knucking futz.
That was a good reference, real specific reference.
The next one up here is absolutely a Christmas movie, and I would put it really close to the top of. This is absolutely Christmas themed. It has Christmas morals to it, family, and that is The Santa Claus.
Yeah, it's a movie built around someone becoming Santa Claus, so I don't know how you wouldn't call it a Christmas movie.
I'm going to put it at the top right now. I'd put it above Home Alone. Well, Home Alone's actually going to move to 3 behind the Christmas Chronicles. So go ahead.
Okay. I haven't seen this movie in years ago, though. That's why these movies are kind of overrated. I never watched these movies. I don't watch Christmas with the Cranks. I guess I'm not a Tim Allen guy anymore. But yes, this is clearly Christmas.
I'd recommend this one. This is a good one. Maybe when you're a dad, you'll understand more, but it's,
okay.
It's, trying to balance work.
Sure.
And,
sure.
The wife who does not understand how he needs to work.
Who's the wife in this?
I forget, but she, I believe, divorced him. And then is it Judge Reinhold? Who's the other guy?
Isn't he an elf?
No, Judge Reinhold is not an elf.
He's not an elf in this? Isn't he an elf in this?
No. Is Judge Reinhold? Am I confusing?
Yeah, you're I don't know. I think you are confusing stuff. David Krumholtz is Bernard the elf. You would recognize him.
I know that, but am I confusing Judge
Elizabeth
Reinhold?
Mitchell. Oh, the lady from Lost. Carol Cavan. She that's where you would know her from.
No, Judge Reinhold is Neil. So
Neil. The fuck is Neil?
Neil is the other guy, because I was possibly confusing him with the other guy from Liar Liar or with Phil Hartman's character from Jingle All the Way.
Okay. All right.
The mid-'90s was a real divorced dad central. So
yeah, I get it.
And you know what? I'm not going to lie. Usually the other guy, not a bad guy.
Typically, you're super similar to the other guy, and that's why you don't like him.
Mrs. Doubtfire. Pierce Brosnan's a fucking great guy.
Pierce Brosnan's a great guy. Who wants to be a stepdad to 3 kids? No one really, but Pierce Brosnan does.
How about Love Actually?
This is a movie, and I'm a rom-com guy that I don't stand for. Like most Love people, there's no in between. If you like Love Actually, you love it. It's your favorite rom-com.
So you're saying you would call it Like Actually?
There you go. Fucking smash that. Yeah, it's a little bit like The Holiday, right? Where you're picking up with all these themes, and they're brought more to the forefront because the holiday's here and everyone wants to love, but you could set this at another time and it would work. So I could go either way on it, Goo. It's up to you.
So do you want it above or below The Holiday?
Above The Holiday.
But below Narnia?
I guess below Narnia.
Okay. How about Miracle on 34th Street, which I will say is a wildly boring movie, but
it's not good.
It's Christmas. We're not basing this list off the merits of it being good.
This is not binary good or bad. This is binary Christmas or not Christmas. This is a Christmas movie.
Do you think this is the most Christmas because you're putting Santa on trial, I think?
I feel like Elf is the most Christmas.
We haven't gotten Elf yet. I'm saying as of right now.
Oh, sorry for the spoilers there, folks.
You piece of shit.
No, it's not the well. Yeah,
I'm gonna put it below the Santa Claus.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, there's a lesson to be learned there.
Sure.
I don't know if there is for Miracle on 34th Street because I haven't seen it in a wildly long time.
You gotta learn how to be bored for 2 hours.
The next one up here is Elf, and I think it is Christmas out the gills.
Yeah, and we talked about this when we reviewed this movie a couple of weeks back. The fun factor in this movie is as high as it's ever going to be in any movie, and a lot of that is because it's so Christmas centric and dealing with lifting people's Christmas spirits so that Santa can do what he has to do, and Buddy the Elf, like learning how to be a human over a Christmas elf, like everything about it screams Christmas. It's my favorite Christmas movie. It's the only one that I watch. Well, this and Home Alone are the only ones I watch multiple times come Christmas time. So this is number one with a bullet.
Also has that Rankin Bass feel as well.
Yes. Yeah. Which goes a long way.
Next one up here is any of A Christmas Carols.
Would you want to go with the Muppets Christmas Carol?
Well, we know what the story is. So we're just saying the story of A Christmas Carol.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like goes to Christmas past, present, and future.
So I could see the argument of like, well, you could have this person have their comeuppance at any time of the year.
I agree. Yeah.
But I think that you need the backdrop of making your workers work on Christmas Day, the most joyous day of the year.
Yeah.
That puts it over the top.
So this, like Love Actually and those rom-coms,
yeah,
Christmas magnifies the themes in this, which I think is why people consider them Christmas movies. But you're right. You could have the plot of this movie happen at any time during the year.
Just like this next movie, which is The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Actually, no, I think you just need Christmas on this one.
Yeah, because what are you going to sneak in and steal Thanksgiving dinner?
I'm going to put it on 2. I'm going to
steal the Easter baskets.
The Grinch Who Stole Your Birthday Party.
Where's my pinata?
The Grinch Who Stole Your Basket of Muffins.
The Grinch Who Ruined My Quinceañera. We're on to something here.
Yep. Spinoffs. Hey, Jim Carrey, come on, let's go. We only want you. We want you to put that makeup on. We want
1,000%.
Yeah,
the only way I'm buying in. Not believable otherwise.
How about It's a Wonderful Life? The movie that all the olds watch every Christmas.
Yeah. not to harp on things, again, you could have this movie set during another time. However, Christmas magnifies the themes that this movie deals with. So I think maybe because this is one of the first ones too, I always consider it a Christmas movie, but you could argue that it's not.
I mean, it could be an end of the year thing, which kind of is. And
yeah.
It could be really any time of the year that someone wants to unalive themselves.
I also feel like because so many of the movies that came after it pick up or mimic some of the movie, that it has to be a Christmas movie.
It could be set during tax season.
It could. It absolutely.
IRS is after my money. Oh no.
That was a good impression of someone in this movie.
Jimmy, what's his name there? Jimmy Smith. Jimmy Stewart.
If it's an old movie, just guess Jimmy Stewart or Humphrey Bogart. That's going to be on to.
Who's Jimmy Smith?
Jimmy Smith is Jimmy Smits was the guy from NYPD Blue. Jimmy Smith was the All-Pro receiver from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm thinking of Jimmy Smith. I always think of him in this role.
There was also another Jimmy Smith that played a decent corner for the Ravens. I don't know,
he was
10 years ago.
Next one up here is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And although I don't think this hits the mark for us, say as much as an 80s baby, this is, I think, like perfect Christmas entertainment.
Yeah, this, and again, I guess maybe Thanksgiving. But dealing with like in-laws coming over and family members staying over that you don't typically
lighting the house, the Christmas tree, buying gifts.
It's a very essential Christmas thing for sure.
Absolutely. How about the Polar Express?
I mean, the magic of it can only happen during Christmas, so I suppose this is
it's about believing in Santa and whatnot. Yeah. So I'm gonna so now we're getting tough because I'm gonna have at the top of here, and we'll go over it in a second, but it looks like Elf, National Lampoon's, Grinch, Santa Claus, A Christmas Carol, Wonderful Life. Actually, I'd put Polar Express above A Wonderful Life. There we go.
I agree with you.
Okay. I might even put it above Scrooge. There we go. Okay. I'm feeling good.
Scrooge?
How about a movie that I fucking hate, but I recognize is a lot like National Lampoon's, and that is A Christmas Story, where this is 90 minutes of a kid dealing with the anxiety of Christmas.
Yeah, I guess perspective's everything when it comes to this one. And that's why it's narrated the way it is. I don't really like this movie, though.
No, I hate it. I hate it. Mac, I'm swallowing my pride right now.
I guess I'm trying to remove that. And you know what? As someone who grew up with not a lot, Christmas magnifies that when oh, so-and-so got this, so-and-so got that. I didn't get what I wanted, or I didn't get this. So you know what? It is a Christmas movie.
I might put this above Elf, actually, as like this really does. There's a reason why it plays 24 hours straight on 2 channels on Christmas.
Yeah. It is very relatable. That's for sure.
It is. I just hate it. I just hate it.
I don't hate it, but I don't like it.
How about Last Christmas? This one just came out a couple years ago, and it has Amelia Clark.
Haven't seen it.
I'm just not even going to put it on the list. How about Christmas with the Cranks? It's in the title, and they were going to skip Christmas, but then their family's like, no, we're going to come. Which, by the way, they kind of stole that from A Muppet Family Christmas.
Yeah, that's where they took
Fozzie's mom was going to go to California, and she even rented her house out to Fraggle Guy there. But then Fozzie and all of his weirdo friends showed up, and she had to board them.
You get some Christmas Vacation elements in this, dealing with in-laws and friends and shit like that. So it is a Christmas movie. That's just not one I watch.
I'm going to put it below A Nightmare on Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
You can eat shit. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Had a very shiny nose.
Nailed it.
It's a Christmas movie.
I'm going to put it above the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown Christmas. And I've voiced my disdain for this one as well, but it does. I mean, they harp on certain things, but they don't resolve anything. So Charlie Brown is obsessed with people are the commercialism of Christmas, blah, blah, blah. And then Linus reads a passage from the Bible and then everything's okay.
I have seen this more times than I'd like to admit. I've seen this a lot of times. So maybe it is a Christmas movie.
No, it is a Christmas movie. I'm just saying they don't resolve any of their Christmas problems.
Oh, well, yeah. So you're saying if you had to give it a dog grade, it would be low.
I wouldn't give it a Snoopy, I'll tell you that much. I'm going to put it into the Christmas, but I'll put it below Home Alone.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Okay, I think we are ready to take a look at this.
Ooh, let's take a peep at what we got here.
Peep at this. And
is it an even split here? What do you got?
It is not an even split, but there are two things in It's a Hot Dog, so keep that in mind.
And Amelia Clark left off the list altogether.
All right, so here we go. What we have here.
Oh, all right. So we got way more yeses than no's.
No, we have a lot of yeses, but I told Billy, just throw some extra movies in there.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm okay with this because, again, I'm trying to keep it smaller. So I almost wish there would be more no's. Can you zoom in a couple times?
So where do you want to zoom in?
I want to see what's in the yeses.
So I don't know how to do any of this.
Okay.
So I can move it around.
No, that's good right there. That's good right there.
But I need to go like this.
All right. All right. Read off the no's just so we establish those, and then we'll jump to the yeses.
All right. Narnia, Love Actually, The Holiday, Catch Me If You Can, Batman Returns, When Harry Met Sally, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Iron Man 3, The Royal Tenenbaums, and Little Women.
And, of course, the two hot dogs we have there are Die Hard and Lethal Weapon.
So Die Hard is there because we're not having this conversation again.
Yep.
And Lethal Weapon is there because we're getting ahead of it.
I appreciate that. It's the foresight we have there. I guess I don't really. I'm kind of content with what we did there, Goo.
I think we did a pretty good job here.
Yeah, I don't think I would move any of them up. I might consider moving a couple down, but I think I'd be stretching at that point.
You can veto in a second. In the yes category, and I'll count from the bottom to the top there. I'll count down.
Yeah,
That's what it's called there. So The Night Before, Krampus, Gremlins, Black Christmas, Trading Places, Christmas with the Cranks, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Arthur Christmas, A Charlie Brown Christmas, Home Alone, The Christmas Chronicles, Miracle on 34th Street, A Wonderful Life, It's a Wonderful Life, any of A Christmas Carols. They're all the same, guys. Some of them are just better than others. The Polar Express, The Santa Claus, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. That could be either the Jim Carrey one, the animated one, or the Benedict Cumberbatch one, which actually I would recommend. I do like that one. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Elf, and A Christmas Story.
I think I would move Gremlins down. I think that's what I would do.
I'm going to stamp Gremlins in here.
All right. So I'm going to move. Well, now you're just making me feel like I got to move something. I would move Black Christmas down.
All right. I'll put it below Narnia. You feeling good?
Then I'm kind of good with everything. Yeah.
Okay. And are you all set with our 6-pack, our top 6 Christmassy movies? Like these are, we're not saying quality-wise, but if you're looking for a Christmas story, it is The Santa Claus, Rudolph, Grinch, National Lampoon's, Elf, and A Christmas Story.
It really pains me that Home Alone's not in there, but I actually agree with that. Yeah, if you're thinking like thematically what you could relate to and what you deal with during the Christmas season, all 6 of those movies pick up on something that you deal with, and I think that is a very good top 6 for sure.
We deserve so much credit. Like, think about this. We don't like A Christmas Story, and we said it is. It's
top 6 for sure. I don't know if I would have had it number 1, but it is in that top 6.
I'll say number 1. I'll go ahead and say it. I'll say it, Mac.
All right. Well,
number 1.
You're stepping out into bold territory there.
Let's get into MacSack.
And MacSack could be anything it could be about. And Mac, I have here the quote of the year coming in just before the end of the year.
Wow.
And that is famed director David Lynch speaking with Empire Online about his requirements of taking the role he's acting in the movie of The Fabelmans that came out last year. And all he wanted, a bag of flamin' hot Cheetos.
So David Lynch, famed director.
Yes.
That was in famed director Steven Spielberg's Fabelmans.
Yes.
More or less a biopic of his life. And in order to be in that movie, his one requirement is that they feed him flaming hot Cheetos.
I love them. Any chance I can, I get them. But I know that they're not exactly health food. So when I do leave the house and I get a chance to, but I don't get them that often, honestly. If I do get them, I want a big bag because once you start, you need to have a lot of them before you could slow down and actually stop. Otherwise, with a small bag, you'd be prowling for days to find more. It's an incredible flavor.
Okay. Well, that man is as passionate about those as I am about OnlyFans, I guess. I don't know. This has got to be tongue in cheek because clearly he was
I don't know if it is.
What's happening in his home life that he needs to seek these out in order to act in a movie? Jesus Christ. God. Now I want to watch the movie just to see if I can see any orange dust on his fingers.
Like, I read this on Twitter yesterday at least 100 times, and I kept reading the Twitter handle because it was, I think, discussing films. And I'm like, is this the Disbussing Films account?
Yeah, right. Parody
nope, it's
one.
real.
Wow.
It's real.
David Lynch. How about that?
You know what it reminds me of?
Passionate about anything that like that? Is there anything you can think of?
No.
Pizza, maybe.
This reminds me a lot of Do Shoes Blues, which is, of course, is now when I'm sick. Blues Clues, when I would you people who live a vent at the thought of Mr. Yes, and I abuse kangaroos. It's word salad.
It's the Michael Scott. Sometimes you start a sentence and you don't know where you're going.
All right, Mac, where can the people find us?
You can find us on Twitter and on Instagram at Mac and Goo Podcast. That's Mac ampersand Goo. It's Mac Shift 7 Goo. Includes Facebook, Stitcher, TuneIn, Castbox, Spreaker, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We're on Spotify, but more importantly, we're on Apple Podcasts. Get on there, rate, review, subscribe, 5 stars. If you do that, we'll get you a free Mac and Goo t-shirt from the folks over at Watertown Sportswear. That's Watertown Sportswear on 34 Mount Auburn Street in Watertown. WatertownSportswear.com, expert screen printing and embroidery.
tpublic.com, merch. We will have an episode. It'll be a mini one, but we'll have an episode for you on, we'll say Christmas night when you're ready to wind down.
Okay. All right.
But thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Tuesdays or Goose Days. I abuse kangaroos.
Bye.
Please flip the cassette over to side B to continue the adventure.